we make the difference in one child's life, if we just reach one child in this program, that we change the course of the world.
On some level, when you think about a child growing up in a home that has no books, that has no children's books, it should hurt us a little bit the way that the idea of a child growing up in a home where there's no food on the shelves or where there's no warmth in the winter, it shouldn't be. A child should have a chance. There should be books in the home that will help the child's mind grow and develop.
The health of children and families in our surrounding community is incredibly important to us at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. It's at the core of our mission, and there are so many factors that affect health. To truly support a child's overall well-being, you have to think beyond just physical health. One way to do that is with books, and that's why Reach Out and Read is so important.
So Reach Out and Read is a wonderful program that we have at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia to provide books to children in the context of well child care. It's a 3-part program that includes having literacy-rich waiting rooms so that we have books available for kids in the waiting room. We have the physicians and nurse practitioners in our practices talking about the importance of reading to young children from 6 months to 5 years, and then each child is able to leave with a new book at each checkup that we have given them as part of their visit with us.
Families and pediatricians develop a wonderful bond during visits at CHOP Primary Care. Because of that trust, it makes sense for our clinicians to be the ones to introduce the topic of reading to children at home. Our families have really taken the message to heart.
As a pediatric primary care provider, you see all of the families, you see them over and over again, and especially in those critical early years. I've got a chance to talk about language and development and use the book.
I'll go in, show the book to the baby, and the baby's eyes light up. The mother gets to see how excited the baby is about the book. I get to use that as a teachable moment to say, look at how smart your baby is. Isn't that amazing? He can see the pictures. He's looking at them. He wants to start turning the pages. So it becomes a very important tool for us as pediatricians to be able to imbue that in the context of the care that we give.
We have over 13 peer-reviewed articles at this point showing that if you get a book and literacy advice from your doctor, according to the Reach Out and Read model, you are much more likely to be read to by your parents, and your vocabulary scores are significantly improved, about a 6-month vocabulary gain, which is huge in the life of a young child.
Literacy is a direct correlation to success. It doesn't take a lot to really make a difference in a child's life. A book, 2 books, effort of reading. I mean, that is something that can make a critical difference with not a lot of investment.
When kids grow up with books in the home, and they love reading stories and being read to and seeing that as a positive, they know that books are about using their imagination and about seeing different worlds. And so when they make that transition into school age, they see not just the power of the book from, I already know how to read because my mom read to me and I know these letters and so forth, but they see where the books can take them.
There are a number of studies that show us that the children who have better language skills and who are more school ready at school entry do much better in school and do well later on in life.
Tamara and Tiara, when they got in, they were 28 weeks, premature infants. We gave them books from the first visit practically. They were probably the first 1 or 2 patients I gave books to when we started the program in '96. And as a result, they came back and found me. They got both into special magnet high schools here in the city. And the first thing out of her mouth, the mother's mouth, was, Dr. Hecker, this is because you gave them books. And I read to them.
I grew up in South Philadelphia. No bookstores whatsoever, not even one. If it wasn't for the hospital telling me that I should read, or Dr. Hecker that I should read, I probably wouldn't have not been reading to them or exposing them to some of the books and the things that they have been exposed to. So I think it is really a good program, really good.
A lot of the parents involved in our programs, they weren't read to. So they don't have that sense of, well, what does it look like when you read to your child? How can I make my crazy, rambunctious 2-year-old who is running all over the room sit still for a story? And this is where our volunteers are wonderful. They will sit down with the book in the middle of the waiting room. They're like Pied Pipers. And the kids will flock over. And all of a sudden, that parent sees their child, who was, before that, racing around, not focused at all, really focused on something, engaged, answering questions. Our volunteers are very good at bringing out the best in kids, and they show parents that, hey, you can do this too.
We're taking care of the whole child. So getting that message out so that the public understands that books are as important to children as the shots and the nutrition, that all goes together.
Reach Out and Read depends on a lot of people. It really is a community program. We get a lot of support from private foundations, some corporate foundations, and then we have a lot of individual donors who are really committed to Reach Out and Read. People who have come in, seen our program in action, who have brought their families in, whose children have done book drives, who have really seen the impact that Reach Out and Read makes on these kids, and have become sort of part of our Reach Out and Read family here.
Something as inexpensive as a book, helping a family find the way to that comfort and that joy and also that cognitive potential, I think really resonates with a lot of people.
I mean, when you think of Children's Hospital, I think of at least of a House of Miracles, the #1 pediatric hospital in the country and arguably the world. But there is an incredible amount of community service that the hospital does in the local community, and that was a way for me to connect my dollars with some place that I felt I could truly make a difference.
Without the support of donors, we're not going to be able to get this message into the lives of these families. Reach Out and Read reaches a ton of kids. We know that it works.
I believe because of the reading and the push that I had from the hospital and the doctors, I think that really helped them along the way.
I would thank the donor who donated books to me because it helped us today.
Right now I have straight A's and everything's going fine.
If you volunteer in this program, if you're involved with the children that benefit from this program, intuitively, you will know that there's great rewards as a result of this program.
Since 1996, the Children's Hospital has given out over 500,000 books to children. Those are books that children wouldn't have otherwise.